Hey, right, guys, we're back. Meteor Munchers with episode 2.
You forgot what episode we're on already.
We've had that many.
I was building
start.
up to it. It's like episode 2, so there we go. Yeah, it's been a few days since episode 1.
Yes.
How are you
Exactly a
feeling?
week, isn't it?
No.
Well, since we recorded.
Are you making any big, regrets about doing this at the moment?
I'm loving every minute of it. Don't know about you guys. I
Right.
feel in my element.
I'm happy. I'm
In
happy
this-
with the response.
In this abandoned car park.
You know what, George? You look like
No.
you're glowing.
I know. The spotlight is on me.
Yeah, if you're watching this on video, for those who don't know, we're actually just in a car park filming.
Yeah.
Not sketchy at all.
So,
we're doing
if we
this
do
one.
get attacked, at least it's on camera.
Yes, also for the podcast viewers, Joe looks tiny.
Yes.
I do. I've got like a really
Bless
tiny
him.
head. I'm like really at the back.
He looks,
Yeah.
he looks like a little chip.
I look like
He
a
does.
child.
That's a bit.
Oh, now I've gone blurry.
Abandoned child. That's fine. But yeah, were we all good with episode 1? We were all happy with it.
Yeah.
George is just making sure.
I was
we're not
very happy.
being cool.
Security check. Yeah, no, I was really happy. I really enjoyed it. I think we got into some good topics. Didn't ramble too much. Rambled just about enough.
Yeah, like I say, it's going to be one of those kind of growing pain things, and we'll figure this out as we go along. iTunes didn't like our podcast.
No.
They denied us. I don't know if I
That's a
told
bit
you yet,
harsh.
Bez. Yeah, they said no to our podcast.
For what reason?
I emailed them to ask them. So if you're hearing this on Spotify, I think it's the only audio platform you can hear it on at the moment, because
Exclusively
Yeah.
to Spotify.
iTunes just don't like it. I think it might have been your musical number at the start. They were just like, this isn't a podcast.
We're not having fucking bears on this content.
They're
Be on this
copyright
service. Fuck that guy.
Nah, I don't blame them, to be fair, though. So, yeah, we just got out of the cinema, went to see The Matrix. which these two- We'll get into that in a bit, but you two have never seen this. And my mum was very disappointed in that.
Yeah.
We're only
I'm
young
sorry.
boys.
Sorry, Joe's mum.
Judging you for that one. But, no, we got some... we got a little bit of feedback on episode 1 with... I think it's almost on 300 views already, which is
That's
mad.
sick.
Like, I
What
don't
about
think we do-
Spotify, please?
Do
you know?
Well, Spotify, we got, I think we're on over 25 followers already on that, which was mad, because I think followers are very rare on Spotify, especially because like the podcast services in beta on that. It's all very new.
Mhm.
And I was kind of checking it live when we posted it, and I think there was like 8 viewers listening live when I was checking it as well. And then
Sick.
we've had like 50 streams on that, almost 50 streams on that overall, so
Take them stats.
Mm.
I know, I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, thank you for everyone for getting involved straight away. We really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
All of Joe's
I'm
fans.
just going to shut this window. Yeah, we really appreciate it. Got off to a good start, so hope we can keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're still open to do this once a week, and
Yeah, and hopefully more
That's the plan.
more professional
yeah,
environment next time. But
You
Yeah,
make
but-
do with what you got,
yeah,
right, boys?
I know this is how you know we're serious about it, doing it. Rant,
we're
Jordan.
doing this for you
committed.
guys. We're doing this for you guys.
Well, we didn't want to
We're
like
risking our
slack
lives.
on episode 2, did we? So it's,
No,
no,
do
you-
this or not. have
Leave
one
it a
at
few
all.
episodes before we start slacking.
Yeah, episode 5, and then we'll kind of wait
That's it.
every
Then we'll have
3
a
weeks
couple
kind
of
of thing.
break.
We'll have a
Yeah.
year off. Yeah.
That'll make most sense. But yeah, we'll just go start off with films that we kind of watched this week, and I've been, compared to last week, I've been awful. Like, I've only seen
Gosh.
2, and the both that I've seen were today. So
Just
Damn.
cramming
I
them
don't
in.
know about you two.
I've got
but
notes.
yeah,
Yeah,
literally.
I've only watched 3 actually this week. Last week I was just pinging them off left and right.
Bing, bing.
No, yeah, I've got 3. A bit of a mix
How about
in
you
terms
guys?
of quality. And,
I watched 2.
Two?
So it's an
Yes,
improvement from
yes.
last week.
yeah.
Well, technically,
Well, you can
No,
include
3. Yeah.
4. Technically 4. Did we watch? We went to the cinema
Five.
last week since last recording.
Spider-Man was
4 then, technically.
4. Do you want to start off
So-
then?
Well, I watched your recommendation, like a movie, which we'll talk about later.
Do a review for that.
Number
That was one
2.
of mine.
Stick around for that.
We just watched Matrix, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and then I watched Spotlight and Hacksaw Ridge.
That's
Oh,
a good Ricks.
Yeah,
Good mix.
I watched Spotlight, and then I fancied something just as
Just a bit more
Complete
hacky.
opposite
Bit more
Spotlight.
hack.
well. Yes, another serious film. And I think that was.
What are
Yeah,
serious.
tick the box. Yeah.
your
Yeah.
thoughts on them? Both. Which one did you prefer?
Um, I prefer Spotlight.
Yeah.
Spotlight was great. I gave it a 5-star.
That's pretty
Because
impressive.
trying to think about it, I couldn't think of anything bad. I mean, it was a little bit slow, but
Mm.
other
It's
than
bound
that,
to be with that sort of story.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
a slow
yeah.
burner, but it was really good. It was a very interesting watch. To obviously how bad the church is.
Yeah. when was that?
That's
2015? 15.
few years
Something
ago
like
now, wasn't it?
2015, 2016, something like that.
Yeah, I think so. The year it came out. I think I watched it when it won Best Picture, so that's when I decided.
Yeah, the cast was fucking amazing as well.
Yeah, you got some Steve Carell, Ryan Gosling, and that's the one. Oh no, Brad Pitt.
Mark.
What the fuck have you watched?
This one's Mark Ruffalo, Rachel McAdams.
Wait, who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of
What
The
are
Big
you
Short.
watching?
Never mind.
Oh yeah, The
I
Big
have seen
Short.
Spotlight,
That's
but I
sick,
was
yeah.
naming off ones off The Big Short, so never mind.
Yeah.
Well, you've got impressive knowledge of The Big Short.
Yeah.
Yeah, like all the big ones really. Mark Ruffalo, Rachel McAdams, like you said, Michael Keaton, Liev
that guy.
Schreiber. I don't know how you pronounce that one.
I think you nailed it, yeah.
John Slattery, Stanley Tucci.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just gonna go through all of these names now.
Bez
Every
doing
single
the
But
class.
no, they were. I think everyone played their part really well. There's no weak point. Normally, I've always said like Mark Ruffalo's not a great actor, but he was really good in this. So
He does have
Yeah.
some like.
Yeah.
I think
some
I just
like once
maybe
every now and then.
in Thor it wasn't so good.
Yeah, I think you give him a rough time because
Yeah.
his Hulk isn't always the most convincing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The week is that.
But obviously, this was also shot in Boston. We went to Boston, so another reason to
We
watch it.
being,
Me and George.
yeah, Bez
Oh,
and
yeah.
myself.
You were saying that you saw
Sorry, Joe.
locations from where you were like.
Yeah,
went
it
in
was
Boston
some
as
where
well,
we
so
actually
that's-
went and we see some of the locations, which was cool.
Yeah, it was the same when we watched Godzilla, and also when I watched Good Will Hunting. It was just like a
It's nice to take
trip
you
back
back.
through time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I need to go to Boston now. Kind of join it.
Yeah.
Well, mate, bachelor boy, whoever gets
Oh,
married
yeah.
first.
Boston.
The most
Freezing.
expensive bachelor boy ever.
Yeah, another cool thing I just realised, the guy who directed it, Tom McCarthy, also did Cobbler, which is some
Cobbler.
shit Adam Sandler film.
Oh, of course.
Well, I don't know actually if
Guy's
it's
got
shit.
range.
How do you go
That's-
from the
yeah,
cobbler?
shit.
Maybe his hatred of the church just like spurred him into becoming a good filmmaker.
But yeah, that was good. And then moving on to Hacksaw Ridge, it was still really good. But had
Apologies for knocking the mic.
had a few flaws.
Hmm. What are your kind of flaws with it, would you say? Because I think me and you are a bit different on this. Because I really love Hacksaw Ridge. I've seen that
Yeah,
Yeah,
twice.
I
loved it.
Yeah.
I think some of the dialogue was a bit cringe.
Yeah.
Was it the Mel Gibson parts? I know he's not in it, but the Mel Gibson factor.
Bought his
What
own
is
film
that?
down.
Just that he overdoes
He's
it
a
a bit, doesn't he?
patriotic.
Yeah, he
man.
overdoes it a bit in that.
Yeah, I think some of it was a bit overdone. I think the film as a whole was too long. It was way too long.
How long is it? Like 2 hours and a half, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, it was
it's a
too
lengthy
long.
one.
And the first 20 minutes was boring as fuck as well, in my opinion. I think that could have been streamlined a lot more.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was good. I really enjoyed it.
Hugo Weaving as well in that.
Was it 3.5 star from you?
3.5 star, yeah. It was
Solid.
very good action. Visuals were good for the most part. There's a few dodgy like green screens, but other than
Yeah.
that, the visuals were really good. The gore was cool as well. The actual
Didn't hold back. Would you like to review Matrix on behalf of us three, or pass it on to someone else?
Well, do you
I will
wanna-
just say what I thought. I didn't really like it as much as everyone else does,
Yeah.
but it was enjoyable and it had a good storyline. But
Yeah.
I'll let you two review it properly.
Well, what do you think of Hacksaw first? Well,
Me?
Could you like it a bit more than Bez or?
Yeah, no, I'm more on your side. I mean, I did only give it half a star more. Gave it 4 out of 5, but
Yeah.
4 stars seems to be like significantly better, really,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
It
Than
just
3.5.
seems a
It
little
just
better.
seems, and that, yeah,
I wanted to give it a 4, but there's just something missing.
that's what I mean. If you give a film a 4 star, then it's pretty much a great film in my kind of rating. So
Yeah.
yeah, I thought it was great.
Yeah. I'm glad, like, touching back on the gore, I'm kind of glad Mel Gibson just kind of went all out. Because I feel like some war films kind of hold back on,
Oh
and,
yeah,
like, pull away from stuff like that. But I'm glad, I don't know, with the war scenes, it felt like war.
well that
It's like
for me
kind of
was
two
probably
different
the most impressive bit in
Yeah.
a directing terms, is the grounding you in that kind of horrible
Yeah.
environment. I think that was one of the best films that did that. That and Fury for me,
Oh,
Fury,
really
yeah,
just
that's
kind
really
of
good, yeah.
so immersive.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad. I think basically the final act of that entire film is. I feel like you have like 3 very clear acts in that
Oh,
film,
yeah.
which I like
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well. And the last act is definitely like a horror
The
war film.
final
Oh,
act
yes.
is the best
It's
act. That's like the
brutal.
whole. That's what the whole film should have been, in my opinion.
I don't know. I kind of like the build up to it as well, but yeah, I think with a bit because it kind of does come about pretty quick at that point as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, I do agree.
It was
like,
good,
the
but then
best
it kind of ended, and I thought there was going to be something else after it. I didn't realise that was just the whole film was about him saving a bunch of people.
Oh no, that yeah.
That's
that
the
is
I
sad
it.
thought
point,
he was
isn't it?
like
It's
gonna
the whole
die,
point,
or
yeah.
someone was gonna die. I didn't know it was just.
It was
just
based
him
on a
saving
true
bunch of
story, so they
people.
couldn't really kill him off.
But I didn't know the true story originally, so.
Yeah,
that's
no, that's
yeah.
fair.
GG to the
Yeah.
guy though.
Yeah,
no, he
I
did
know
sick.
for real.
I know,
Yeah.
so. And yeah, The Matrix, like Bez says. What about you, George?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought the action was really cool. I can see why it's had such an iconic impact on pop culture. The kind, like you say, the storyline was really interesting and original.
Yeah.
Some stuff doesn't hold up today, but it's bound, that's bound to be the case. It's just a really enjoyable, cool film.
It's a cool film.
Decent enough acting.
Yeah.
Cool.
We did a
cool.
full review over on Meteor Reviews, of course, so do check that out for the more in-depth one. But
Yeah.
I think we had a fun time. It's always nice seeing like
Definitely.
older films, just kind of seeing when you hear a lot about it. Like you've just seen. Well, I don't want to spoil one of your films, but you've seen an older film recently as well,
Mhm.
and you hear all these things about it all your life. So to actually finally see certain films like that.
Yeah, and to me,
It's always
it lived up to the hype.
See what the hype's all about.
Yeah.
I've seen it a million times, so I'm kind of, it was just nice for me to see it on the big screen, which is a treat. But
Yeah, nice little treat.
Yeah. So that all your film, and then obviously the film that George suggested last week, which
Yeah,
we'll
which we'll
talk
touch
about
yeah,
on.
that
we'll
in
do
a bit.
more of an in-depth talk of that. What about you, George?
So yeah, you touched upon it there. Scarface, I watched recently in the cinema as well, which was nice. I think it's one of those that I'd have to watch in the cinema. It's 2 hours 50. It's very story heavy, but I loved it so much. I thought there was barely anything I could fault it over. The acting from Al Pacino was just ridiculously good. I can see why he got so many plaudits for that. He was so cool to start with, but then he just kind of displayed this range of emotion, the kind of rise and fall so brilliantly. I was just in awe of him the entire film. The story, I can't say it was original storytelling because it's obviously adapted from a 1932 movie, but it was still incredibly well done. The script was amazing.
It was well reimagined.
Yeah, I couldn't fault it, so 5-star from me.
5-star,
That's
there you
Opposite end of the spectrum, less than a masterpiece, Couples Retreat.
go. I've not even heard of that.
Vince Vaughn, Jon Favreau wrote this one, and
Oh, God.
it nearly made me lose all hope in Jon Favreau, who I do really love.
Is
But it's
a rom-com
god awful.
thing, or?
It's a rom-com. It's only out like 10 years ago, but it feels so old. It's so misogynistic. It's homophobic.
What the
None of
fuck?
the jokes just land in today's kind of market.
Yeah.
And the story, I feel like when they were writing, they got dead excited about this original story, and then when it got to the actual film, they just gave up on it. And the majority of it is just Jason Bateman running around like, "Oh, guys, we need to do this plan," and everyone's like, "Oh no, we don't need to do the plan. We need to live and be free." And it's just, it was a mess of a film. There were a couple of decent performances, but I mean, the guy from Leon, the French guy.
Oh, Luke. No, that's the director. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty funny,
Yeah.
but it's just a god awful film. A waste of time.
Waste
Really
of time.
disappointing.
What's
Oh.
that called? Sorry.
Couples
Couples
Retreat,
Retreat.
and it had such a good cast. They had
I just looked
Vince
through
Vaughn,
now, yeah,
Jon
yeah.
Favreau, Kristen Bell, Jason Bateman. It didn't use any of them. The
They-
guy
Oh, you look.
Faison
Faison
Love
Love.
was the highlight. He was really funny. Other than that, terrible. But yeah, 1 star. Complete
One
opposite end of the
star.
spectrum.
Well, we got 23 on Metascore, so that's in line with them.
Yeah,
pretty much.
yeah, exactly. If anything, they're overdoing it with the
Mm.
3 part of the 20.
Shows that cast cannot save a film.
Yeah,
movie,
it shows that.
43 as well. That even though
Yeah.
you remember a whole debate when we were younger about whether movie 43 was good or not.
Mate, it
That was just funny to
nearly
see.
ended
I remember you used
friendship.
Wow.
to
Riled
proper
up.
trigger us with it. You were like,
It's
movie
great.
43 is good, and me and Liam
Got it
were
on
like,
Blu-ray and
please
everything.
no. Do you actually?
Yeah.
He does.
Oh, Beth, please.
Hashtag movie confessions.
Not anymore, boys. Sold it. Don't worry.
Hey,
Nice.
grown up. Our boy's grown up.
But that
Still in my
also
heart.
that should also be a sad story because someone bought that from Bez.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's someone out there that enjoys it.
I
What?
bought it off someone.
Yeah.
Someone bought it off me.
Like
The
the Jumanji
circle
board
of
game.
the circle
It's
of
a
life.
movie 43. It lives on.
The circle of life.
I also stuck in the 80s for the Terminator as well, the original one. I think 1983, 84. Another really good film. Again, original storytelling on this one. I think the world building was amazing for its time. the visual effects were abysmal, as you'd expect. I don't think Bez would have sat through it. I think he would have walked out. Some of it was all right, and then some of it, there was any scenes where Arnie had his bionic eye showing. It so clearly changed into a moulded face thing, the prosthetic face.
Oh, like plastic.
So it'd be like Arnie be in the mirror like, oh no, she's not good, and then it'd cut.
Nice
And he'd be there like
impression.
this prosthetic mask just completely, and when the Terminator's running at them as the full Terminator, they didn't really put much effort into the stop-start movement of it, so it's kind of janking on it. But that's excusable,
Probably
I think, considering it's 35 years old now. But what it was a really good story. I think the acting was actually surprisingly really good. Arnie was in his prime. Obviously, he didn't have to actually act too much in this. He just had to be a beast, and that's what he is best
Say
at.
cheesy lines and
He did it really well. And again, like The Matrix, I can see why this has had such an impact on popular culture as well. It's been so iconic, and I can see why. I think if I were to watch it back then, the kind of story. There's a cat. The storyline and the kind of revelations that happened must have been such a massive deal, I think, back then. Because, again, like The Matrix, there wasn't really any kind of story like that before, with the whole Skynet narrative and things like that. Yeah, it was, and it opened people's eyes to stuff. And
80s and 90s, good time to be alive for films.
Yeah, for original storytelling, which we may get onto.
Quality.
Yeah.
For quality as well.
That's the year.
True, like Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
Don't, please.
Mewtwo in that.
Don't make me suffer through that film.
Yeah, but no, really good. 4-star from me. Would recommend to anyone that can withstand old visuals. So not you, Bez, I'm afraid.
Yeah, Bez is out of the car.
Sorry, guys.
That's a pretty good week for you, though, to be fair.
Yeah, well, I went
A couple
retro.
of classics, yeah.
The one relatively modern film let me down, so what does that say about modern filmmaking?
When did that film come out?
2009, I think.
Yeah, fuck 2000. 2009 was a weird year, so...
What happened to you in 2009? Yeah, that is true. You made the step up to secondary school.
Yeah, it was a weird year.
Yeah.
A lot of iconic things happened.
Oh God, I dare not.
That's for another
No,
podcast.
they're not even weird. They're just weird.
Okay, we'll delve into that.
All my memories come from 2009. It's like, when did that happen? 2009. Remember this old song? When it was from 2009.
That is when you crafted your musical taste. I feel like
anything that's happened in the past, it just happened in 2009 or 2008. Those 2 years.
2008 is the
most common year for memory.
I'll stick with 2008.
Sorry, I'm getting off topic here.
To get more information on Bez's 2009 history, join us on Meteor's Life Stories.
Life reviews.
Coming soon.
Therapy sessions.
That's a good one.
Therapy with me, Teal.
With me.
What about you, Joe?
Just The Matrix, which 5-star from me.
That's it.
And the Lego Movie Part 2.
Wow,
Joe,
yeah, really did squeeze them in.
What TV shows have you watched this week?
Hey.
Fucking about 100.
Oh, fucking classic TV. I could go through.
That will be for our spin-off
TV
podcast, which will not feature me.
If you want to know what Joe watched, check out his YouTube videos.
Yeah, in a nutshell, videos really helpful. Would recommend.
No, Lego Movie 2 though, which is obviously George's suggestion from last week.
Yeah.
And I only ended up watching it today because, like I said, we weren't sure when we were going to have time to film this.
It's what the kids call a clutch play.
Yeah, basically. But you're a big fan of this film when it came out in the cinema, like you were saying in the last podcast. You thought it was kind of...
I was a fan. No, I was definitely a fan, I think. A big fan, I guess so, but I think only because relatively compared to a lot of films that came out this year, it was a nice surprise. I think if it came out in another year, it might not have even stayed in my memory.
Yeah.
But I think I've been recently trying to think about what films came out, obviously with last week's podcast, check it out if you haven't already. It had me thinking about what's come out, and not much, so relatively, in comparison, it's one of the highlights.
I was talking to Joe about this earlier, what Joe was saying. It should have come out a lot sooner.
Yeah, it's like 5 years.
Like if it came out like a year or two at max after the first one, I think it would have been better received.
Yeah, because that was my one thing that we always kind of talk about when we talk about this film is no one even knew it was really coming out.
Yeah, no one asked for it.
Yeah.
No.
And we had like the Batman movie and the Ninjago movie since then, but
both
they
of
were like
which
fine, I guess. I didn't see them personally, but they were kind of fine.
Lego Batman was a waste of time.
Well, there you go. That's George's review.
Lego, not the Batman.
But what were your kind of thoughts on it from... when did you watch it, Bess? Was it?
I think I watched it the weekend.
Oh, that weekend. What were you thinking then?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it actually. I think
I don't
know its thoughts.
Yeah.
That's good.
it was just as good as the first one. Obviously, it didn't have the uniqueness of like the whole Lego movie.
Yeah, the element of surprise was gone.
But it was good. Like the first start of it, I was like, oh, it's a bit boring because the story took a long time to get going. But at the end, it was a nice revelation, and it was sweet, like the original was, for the ending.
Mm-hmm.
I think the humour was spot on as well. It was so like dumb, but
Weird,
that is perfect for me. So I really enjoyed that. I like the new characters. I like the little twists, and of course, I like the CGI in this film. I think it is amazing what they do with the whole and making it look like stupidly fake as well. You know, when he's in the real world and they're like moving stupidly.
Yeah.
That's CGI, and it looks so real, but like real bad.
Yeah, like you knew they were meant to do that. Like,
and I just think it is a beautiful film. All in all, I think good script.
I do think the colours on this one were more impressive. I think the kind of purples, and obviously you had that whatever I want to be, or whatever her name was, the kind of queen.
Oh yeah.
Whenever they're in her land, the colours and stuff were just popping. So, what about you, Joe? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, one last point. Soundtrack was also sick. I didn't think it was gonna beat Everything Is Awesome.
Oh yeah,
they didn't.
that one.
No,
but it was just as good. They remixed it, so they didn't try and beat it. Which is another good.
They
soundtrack.
modified it.
Well, they didn't really need to do that, but yeah.
What was your rating, Bez?
4 stars.
4
That's solid.
stars.
Same as me.
Yeah,
Same as me.
I really enjoyed it.
Fair play.
I'm just being distracted. There's a cat outside.
Yeah, I don't want to crunch its skull when I drive.
Spoiling it, walking.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's right.
Joe.
Well, yeah, it's fresh on my mind. Just seen it a few hours ago, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, I think it wasn't as strong as the first one.
No.
Like literally, like I say, the element of surprise. No one thought the original Lego movie was going to be good. Like we all thought it'd be like a cash grab, and then I remember it coming out and everyone being very surprised by how good. They put effort in with the humour, the animation, the actual story and stuff. And I do think this one was good. I did really enjoy it. The humour worked through it still. Like I said, the animation was great. I think Wildstar was way better in this film than in the first one. Like they gave her a lot more to do.
Yeah.
Which I liked. I think flaw-wise though, I'd say like I didn't find the villains as interesting. Like yeah, I didn't find like the whole Will Ferrell like kind of twist at the end of the first one was really good, and then I think they tried to do it again here, and it was still worked, but just not as strong. But
I think it was cool how there was no actual villain in the end.
Yeah.
And it was like so obvious, like, oh, they're singing this song like I'm not a bad guy, and making it so obvious that she is. But it ends up turning out she isn't. So it was cool.
Yeah. I'd say as well, like another flaw would probably be Emmett though. I didn't find Emmett as interesting as a character. This one.
Yeah, I think my kind of interest in Emmett is kind of followed the trend of my interest in Chris Pratt, to be honest. just downward trend.
Yeah, I think in the first one he was more he went more of a journey.
Yeah.
This one he was just like pretty good all the way
just
through.
There.
Like he wasn't really as bland as he was in the first one, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but even
you know how they made a whole joke out of him being the special, even though he's like brain dead.
Yeah, that's true.
But in this one he wasn't. He was like a master builder.
Yeah.
So kind of like a different character, really.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just more like when they had that, which I did actually like the start. You know, when it kind of just did the 5-year time skip. I liked that. Like very early in the film, and then like I think you said it slowed down a little bit.
Endgame.
Yeah, it literally was.
Came before Endgame.
Before Endgame copied Lego movie.
My bad.
Conspiracy.
And then it picked up. But I just think it's like after 5 years and he was still being a bit dumb. It's like, come on, Emmett now. But no, that was just kind of nitpicking stuff. But yeah, I just didn't think Emmett was as strong, all the villains.
No.
But Wildstar was way better. Rex as well was that the character's name?
Oh yeah, that was cool.
He was really good. I
like the little bits where he was doing all the titles and it was like
a
side clip came popping
cowboy.
yeah.
I thought he was really good. And then I think there was like one other flaw for me, which was the side characters, like the spaceman guy. and the kitten. It felt like their jokes were just the same as the first one. Like it was just
they're
kind
nowhere near.
The
screen time in the first one.
Yeah, they were really good in the first one, but then the jokes here were just kind of the same as the first one. It was just like, okay, well, did you want to maybe do more? Other than that, though, I really enjoyed it. I think they're probably going to do a third, aren't they? Let's be honest. So, I don't know.
Either that or a spin-off. Probably.
Yeah, another spin-off. And Batman
Rex Dangerous.
Batman.
Yeah, it was Will Arnett. It was great.
Yeah, it's good in Lego Movie.
Oh yeah, I gave it a 3.5.
I'll take that.
I was surprised, but I thought.
What did you give it again, George?
4. So yeah, guys.
There you go.
A fantastic recommendation from me, if I do say so myself.
It was a surprise, I'll give you that, because like I said, going into it, I just thought it'd be kind of a money grabbing film.
Yeah, if it was that, then it did not work, because it made no money whatsoever.
Mission failed.
Yeah, we'll get them next time.
But no, it was a decent film. But upcoming films. Jump straight into that with only one.
Only
one film.
And it's not the most well received, is it?
Not the most well received, and it's The Lion King. So everyone's kind of shitting on this film as of recent. Which
Ali Plum gave it 3.5 plums, guys.
Yeah, but that guy means shit.
The poor guy. This has become the We Hate Ali Plum podcast. He's going to be listening to this.
To be fair, he's only said like one bad thing. I don't know why I hate him.
It's just becoming our trend.
Yeah, I just don't even know why I hate him so much.
Yeah.
It's like
I've only disagreed with his review like once. So.
Yeah, it's like in Scrubs when Dr. Cox just always hates Hugh Jackman for no reason. He always just mentions his hatred. I'm sorry, Ali Plum, that you've become our Hugh Jackman.
He's going to be your man.
Joe, you've missed 2 films that are coming out.
There are 2 of us, but I won't really say
The Wedding Guest and Tell It to the Bees. Like, what the fuck is that?
I saw that. One's got Dev Patel in. He is really good, and then I just looked at the director and I'm like, what's he even done?
Oh, that's just a shout out to the name Dev. It's a sick name.
Dev Patel.
Game Dev.
That's a really cool name. Good actor as well. From Skins,
really
representing. Everyone from Skins just seems to be doing really well.
I think I haven't seen it, but it looks like a show where they had to be good actors for it to work. So
yeah,
you can tell there's a good crop of talent.
Yeah, and they've all done really well, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lion King, we're going to see it, or what are your thoughts? Kind of, do you give a shit?
I just want to see it, just so I've seen it.
For me, if it comes and goes and I don't see it, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it.
I'm going to cry about it, yeah.
It would be cool to see the visuals, but can I be asked to sit through 2 hours just to look at the visuals?
Just to watch a film you've already seen, basically.
Yeah, and a film that... No comment.
That's all I'm hearing, to be fair. But, well, you do. Yeah, but people are just saying it's kind of shot for shot exactly the same as the original.
But not as good.
Yeah.
Not as impactful.
No, we'll talk more about that in a bit, but it's just kind of like, what's the point?
Yeah,
I think that's the point.
Yeah, the slap in the face is when you're parting with 10 quid and you come out thinking, what was the point in that?
I've already seen this film, exactly.
Yeah, I'll just go see the original. Like, why would I come see this?
Yeah.
I know they're trying to maybe reach a new audience and stuff, but
this is the argument. But at the end of the day, have you not got a DVD player or something like that? Just play the original.
Re-release the original.
It's still
make
good.
Some money. Remaster the original.
Yeah, just do something else
just
with that.
Just remaster it.
Yeah. And I don't even think it needs that because it is such a good quality
film. The little kiddies.
I know what you mean. Yeah, if they're that desperate for money, which to be fair, Disney are struggling financially.
They seem fucking desperate to grab some money.
Well, I think it's more about the market share, isn't it? They just want to get a film out every week.
It's just crazy.
Yeah,
they do have a film coming out every week. I swear. It's ridiculous. But yeah, so Lion King, no one really cares about them. That's the general consensus of that. But yeah, I think, you decided more on the main topic earlier, but kind of talking about remakes in general anyway, like, I don't know, we were just kind of thinking, like, is there any point in them? Are they, like, a good idea, bad idea? And kind of thinking if there are any good remakes out there that improved on originals, and even if there would be any films nowadays that you think maybe should be remade and could be made better.
That's what I never really think about that.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah, I think there could be some films out there like.
Well, yeah, I suppose if we're going on to the main topic of conversation, like you touched upon, this kind of remakes good, and I think more importantly is are there too many of them? I saw this Den of Geek article that said there are currently 115 remakes and reboots currently in the works at some stage of production. Yeah,
I bet there's loads already out.
Yeah, and so it's because there are remakes that have done well financially, and there are maybe a couple that have actually, been good to watch, which we'll touch upon now. But the sheer volume of them does make you worry about the kind of originality of filmmaking at the moment. There seems to be such a, like we've touched upon with Disney, such a cash grabbing kind of mentality at the moment.
Kind of easy film. You haven't really. It's like minimal effort, maximum.
Churn them out. Yeah.
I think Lion King is a prime example of that.
You could argue all the live action Disney remakes in some level.
Yeah, Jungle Book was good.
Jungle Book was good because it wasn't a remake, shot for shot, was it?
It
took a different take.
I think if you have to remake if you want to remake something, reimagine it as well at the same time.
That's the word. That's what I was looking for.
The audience don't want to watch the exact same film. They want to watch the same film, but they don't want to feel like they've watched the same film over again.
They want a different journey on that film.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's like you want the same premise in the sense of like that world, but you don't want to be there like.
You just want to get to it differently.
Yeah, exactly. Not
you want some surprise at least.
And I think that touches upon a good point. I think is that because there's this kind of question: can remakes be original? I think they can.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think for me the problem is there aren't enough Jungle Books out there. There aren't enough kind of different takes on it. I think they're scared to change it up, especially I'm disappointed they didn't change up The Lion King. I think there were different takes on the story to be told, and to me it seems like they played it safe and now it's backfiring.
They could have gone well risky. They could have spoiler alert, they could have not killed Mufasa at the start and like saved him for a little bit and then killed him surprise later. Just when you think he's going to survive the film, and the whole film's going to be different.
And even just that, it's like.
Or they could just change the entire film.
Yeah.
Yeah, because from what I can tell, I haven't seen the Jungle Book, but the story seems vastly different to the original.
Yeah, I can't quite remember the original, but I have seen the remake, and it is good. It was.
I remember seeing that in cinema. I enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I think it, like you said, it just felt different enough to feel like fair enough here. But stuff like Beauty and the Beast there as well. I don't know if any of you've seen that one.
No. I started to watch it and then I left.
Yeah, I think because you can get remakes where it's like it might not be like shot for shot like say Lion King is, but it's just way worse. Like it's just terrible and boring. I found Beauty and the Beast boring. Whereas at least Jungle Book had that entertainment aspect to it. So
I think that's a problem, isn't it? I think for me, there have been 3 live action Disney remakes already this year, as we mentioned last week, and even films like Pet Sematary, it doesn't seem like they even in beyond Disney there aren't.
I think like
risks being taken.
The horror industry in general is just full of remakes.
Yes, the narrative points, the plot points in horror films and the methods are pretty much the same across a lot of them.
So we need directors like Jordan Peele who just actually put effort into coming up with original
horror
stories.
What is it, Ari Aster?
Ari Aster,
yeah,
with Hereditary and Midsommar. It's like, they might not be for everyone, but at least they're original different stories.
Yeah.
And they'll probably be remade in like 50 years anyway, so, I mean, who gives a shit? But no, I just think if you, the problem is, as a director, I don't see how you can look at a film and be like, I want to remake that and do it exactly the same, but worse.
Yeah. What's the thought process on that?
Yeah,
I think the money is probably the thought process. True. Someone comes along and says, you've got a ready-made package, all you have to do is update this original content for the modern market, and you're going to make millions, In a
simplistic way,
Yeah.
Are there any remakes though that we kind of think did, I don't know, kind of reach that boundary of actually being way better than
there's a few,
Bez has a pretty good list.
I've just got a few random films with a few varied, it depends how you remake it, because obviously everyone's seen Starsky and Hutch, the film with Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
Everyone, not a single person. No. Yeah, of course. Snoop Doggy Dogg.
We all agree we love that film.
Back
in the day, I'm not sure as I would now.
I mean, that's a good remake from the series.
Yeah,
so
same.
TV show, it's completely different.
Yeah.
Same with Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, they're pretty much
it's
the same film.
It's not a great film, but yeah.
But yeah, I think with that as well, they did change it up because they just focused purely on it being a comedy, and I think at least they did take a risk and committed to something instead of just like you say bringing up the same story and the same style.
Yeah.
At least they did commit to some kind of vision for it.
I think 21 Jump Street as well.
Classic.
I didn't actually realise that was a remake.
No, me neither.
Yeah,
I think it was a TV series on 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, because the Johnny Depp guy, Johnny Depp guy, I don't know if you know him, but
Yeah.
obviously the cameo. But yeah, that.
So
yeah,
I think that was funny. Good film.
I love that film. So, yeah, I didn't know it was a remake till after that film came out and they mentioned that kind of.
I think
cameo.
remakes are good if you don't know they're a remake.
Yeah,
as well.
I think that's it. I mean, everyone was instantly comparing the old to the new with Lion King and pretty much every Disney film.
That's what you don't really want.
Yeah, I think rebooting a kind of hidden gem. I think that's a good idea.
I just want to see the story there, but they don't feel like it was done to the best of its ability at that time. Then I mean, by all means, go remake it because you get that story to as many people as you can. But I think if the story was done to perfection in the first place, that's when I'm kind of like, why?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's it. I feel
there's
like
got to be a need to remake.
Yeah, you
not
want
just
to have
money.
a goal. Yeah, besides money. And if a previous iteration has already achieved that goal, then what are you aiming for?
Like it's all good having a graphics upgrade, but does that really serve the film any purpose? Because like graphics isn't, say in games, it's not always everything.
No.
So if you can't improve the film in a different way, then what's the point in doing it?
Well, yeah, my prime example was Psycho when they remade that with Vince Vaughn.
Ooh,
I don't know if anyone knew that.
No.
But yeah, because
the
original got the story across. It was perfect, shot for shot perfect. Why would you bother? And then they remade it with Vince Vaughn.
It's the film, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
everyone that's done a film studies class would have watched that film. So why would you even go there?
Yeah, why bother?
I'm just looking on your list though, Bez, and the original Mad Max series was really well received, and they rebooted that and did a good job. So what do you think the kind of formula was for that?
That's a tough one because, like you said, it was well received. So why remake it? I think maybe they embraced what it was. They didn't try and. It's hard because they didn't really try and do anything too risky with it. But then when we say the same thing to Lion King, so
yeah, I suppose you're saying nothing risky, sure, but I think it was pretty groundbreaking in terms of the visuals of it.
Yeah, I think that was the main thing.
I was gonna say, like, I think the difference here is that they've so many years since the original, and because it is the same director,
same director.
I think he's like, I want to do more with this.
I guess he has a right to remake it.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I feel like I can do more with this.
We're just saying the visuals are better.
Yeah.
The Lion King, the visuals are better. So what makes them different?
Well, the visuals are more realistic, but from everything that I've seen, the emotions of the characters are just not there. Basically, the only thing that moves is their mouth. So you just don't. In the cartoons, it's very animated. You can see every emotion in their face.
Yeah, like you can animate their eyes and their facial expressions to everything that's going on. Whereas this is just a mouth opening.
That's what
and a voice coming out.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So it really gives a shit. But like with Mad Max, the difference being they're not doing a shot-for-shot remake of a Mad Max film. It's a different story.
New story.
Yeah, it's got similarities, obviously, but. And that's what we're saying, like, if it has those similarities, then by all means going for it, so I think there are exceptions for sure, and that's probably one of the more prime examples of that, so.
Just an interesting thought is, do you think the cast has anything to do with the potential success? Because, I mean, you look at the Mad Max cast, there is a lot of talent in there. Nicholas Hoult, obviously Tom Hardy, Charlize Theron was amazing in that.
Yeah.
And then you look at The Lion King, and while it is an impressive cast in terms of overall talent, not all of them are actors, and not all of them are voice actors as well. Do you think that they took a risk in that department?
Yeah, I think it's a tough one. It's like, I think in every film they've got to be good actors, but with The Lion King, I think it will make a decent amount of money just because they're big actors.
And you got Queen Bee.
So I don't think you need big actors. Like Mad Max had big actors as well.
Yeah.
But I think you need good actors more importantly.
Yeah, that's what I was emphasising. I mean, Tom Hardy was obviously well known. He'd done Inception, and I think he'd already done Dark Knight Rises at that point and stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like he still wasn't to the level that he is now. And Charlize Theron as well, I think that was her, for me, from what I could see, that was the role that everyone thought actually this, she's worth a top
something.
quality.
Yeah, I took notice of her from that.
So I think, like you say, it's not. I don't think the star appeal helps. I think
it's finding that balance. You got to have someone well enough to put on a poster to sell, but they've also got to be good enough to act as well.
Yeah.
But you don't want to go too far towards the selling side.
Yeah, which I think Lion King did, to be honest, by
getting
Beyonce.
But
childish
Beyonce is not an actor. No way.
Well,
Childish Gambino is, in a way.
He's
a mixed bag. He is good, so that's fair.
He can do everything, that man.
Yeah.
Godsend. Love him. But, no, I do think they've definitely depended more on the voice acting side of things other than anything else. Look at our voice cast, more about the film.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think that's. Yeah, I just think there's some pointless ones. And
there's a lot of pointless ones. I was looking at a few here, like RoboCop. Like, did that really need remaking?
I forgot about that.
Then it was remade in such a bad way as well.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Total Recall, everyone hated that one.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it when it came out, but I was a young boy, so probably doesn't count.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That was another shocker.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
No.
That's a very controversial one.
Yeah.
Karate Kid, that didn't go down too well either. So a lot of these films are...
Silence is a remake?
Apparently.
Wow.
Yeah, apparently. I didn't know that either.
Godzilla, yeah.
The thing that all these films is like, did anyone really ask for them?
Yeah, that's the thing. Did
that's
anyone want these? Yeah.
Like when they're like you said, the hidden gems is what you want. You want to make a remake for something like that people weren't expecting, not the ones that the obvious things that people don't really want a remake of.
Yeah. Well, there we go then.
There we go. Yeah.
Let us know if there are any remakes you like and if you think remakes are a good thing, and also what remakes you'd like to see as well, because we didn't really touch upon that.
Oh yeah, is there any films that you think should be remade?
No.
Have you got any on top of your mind, or you can already think?
Short Circuit.
I've not.
Yeah, look that film up.
Right.
That's what I'm going to say. Short Circuit. There's two. The first one was sick. It's really old.
Sick, bro.
Like 1970 or something like that.
That's the one.
Actually, it might be a bit later. Probably 80s. I don't know.
It's what about you, George? Anything off the top of your head?
Not really. I want Scooby-Doo 3.
Oh, Scooby-Doo remake.
Yeah.
Same cast.
Yeah.
Better CGI. Get James Gunn back as a writer. I'm down.
Wait, legit? James Gunn?
He was a writer on this.
Oh, mate. Yeah. I did not know that. Learn something new every day.
What about you, Joe?
Oh, God, top of my head.
I know that film.
The classic bands. I don't know. Just nothing. Just don't do.
This is Short Circuit, guys.
Short Circuit. Oh, I've seen that.
I'll show you guys on watching the video. See if you know that geezer.
Yes.
Everyone on the podcast, it's some robot.
Just some robot. With film news, anything relevant to that?
Yeah, some big stuff happened to say.
Really.
Yeah, saw some stuff.
In terms of trailers, some good ones. The King's Man, which will be released Valentine's Day 2020. Very romantic. That looks... it's got Ralph Fiennes. So that makes it interesting. But other than that, I'm a massive Kingsman fan, and I'm not buzzed for this one.
No, it's like, did you really want this?
Again,
no.
I didn't ask for this. It could be really interesting, but it depends if they scale it back, because Kingsman 2 they went big and it didn't work.
Too big.
So maybe, going back to World War 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I hope it's not CGI.
I think they'll scale it back, and I think they'll be more, not realistic, but a bit more grounded. It'll be interesting.
Did you two like the second one, or
not as much as the first?
It was good. It wasn't great. Yeah.
So you'll see the third one, I'm assuming, just to
definitely.
check it out.
Just finish it off.
Yeah, definitely.
Is it the same director as well?
I'm not sure if it's Matthew Vaughn this time.
Sure, I'll have a look.
Have a quick search if Matthew.
And while you have a look, I'll go on to the next trailer. The Red Sea Dive Resort. Bez, let me know about this one. Chris Evans led film, released on Netflix at the end of the month. I reckon this could be quite a hidden gem potentially if they get it right. It's got a kind of Hotel Rwanda vibe, a kind of serious, kind of political story about basically these folks who help refugees to basically stay alive in, I think, is it Ethiopia?
What am I helping you with?
The Red Sea Diving Resort, is it set in Ethiopia?
The Red Sea Diving Resort.
I
haven't got a clue.
You
mate.
told me about this one.
Did I?
I think so.
What?
Apparently you didn't.
Just taking back that, yeah, it is directed by Matthew Vaughn.
He is, right, okay.
Okay, that could be interesting.
What am I looking at?
Red Sea Diving Resort, it's got Chris Evans in. You definitely told me about this.
Wait, that's
Did I might remember it when I look at it, but Red Sea...
No, not
yeah,
Sea.
I get it, I know.
You'd say that's this month?
End of this month on
Yeah.
Diving
Netflix.
Resort.
Okay.
What the
Chris Evans.
In Ethiopia, yeah. So it's basically Chris Evans and a gang of folks help to protect these refugees in Ethiopia. And it's based on a true story.
Now I remember, yeah.
Ben's
It's on
caught
Netflix,
up.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I remember now.
Cheers, Ben.
I sent him it's because I sent him a news article, not an actual.
Yeah.
Yep.
And trailer dropped, I think, yesterday. Looks really good. If they get it right, I think this could be one of the unsung kind of films.
I'm looking forward to Chris in a non-Marvel film.
He looks like he's into
He
this
looks good at that, yeah.
Yeah.
So I would definitely keep an eye out for that one. In terms of updates on upcoming films, the big one, I think we've all heard this one, but it'll be interesting to have a little chat about.
Yeah.
Taika Waititi as Thor 4 director and writer.
Yeah.
He's put off the film called
Akira
for a while.
Unreal. Gutted.
The film that's been 20 years in the making will now be 22 years in the
Another
making,
remake,
probably.
there you go. That doesn't need to happen because the original Akira is perfect.
Yeah.
What's the point?
But are we excited for this? Good
Very.
news?
Yeah. Marvel always seem to stick with the three of the trilogies. So I'm glad
This
they've
is
changed it
Thor,
up.
Thor, oh, right, I see what you mean.
Iron Man 3.
Yeah, and it's pretty surprising that Thor's the first one to get a quadrilogy.
Yeah,
I mean it's not surprising after the end
love
of
was
Endgame,
renewed
but-
for him, so
Yeah, I think it's good. I'm excited, but it's a risk, I think, because Ragnarok was so fresh and unique. I think having him back in, could be.
I think it's going to be
undo it.
tough how they do it. I hope the whole Marvel tone doesn't go like Thor Ragnarok for everything these days.
I think it will.
And it's going to be interesting to see how it fits in with Guardians 3 as well.
Oh,
I think depending on which one comes first, I think will depend on whether Thor teams up with Guardians in that
It's
film.
got to be Guardians 3 first.
Yeah, I don't think you can have Guardians in a Thor film, but you can have Thor in a Guardians film. So it'd be interesting to see which comes first.
Yeah, because you're bringing Guardians to Thor, that's like an entire new cast just to kind of flood the film. But
at the same time, Taika Waititi is free and available to write Thor 4. James Gunn is still working on the Suicide Squad, so you'd assume Thor 4 would come first, but
Taika, the smoothest looking director
well,
in the world.
hasn't James
Apart
Gunn
from
already
Peter
got
Jackson.
the majority of the story written before he was
he
fired?
has, but he's still
less
going to be
work.
working on the Suicide Squad for a while. So it'd be interesting.
When's
I
that?
think-
Is that for next year?
It'll be 2022
No one
probably.
knows, yeah.
Well, Guardians 3 is going to be like 21, 22.
Well,
If
we'll
it
probably
comes
know
out.
by the next podcast all of this stuff. Probably by the time this is out, because Comic-Con's out.
Oh yeah,
So a lot of
Comic-Con.
stuff
Oh,
I'll probably
yeah.
get news for that, yeah.
Should definitely do a Comic-Con news update.
That'll be a
next
main
week.
that would be a
topic,
big
I
one.
think.
Yeah, that will probably have to be the news segment.
Yeah.
Elvis Presley has been reborn as Austin Butler, the lesser known choice out of the 5. I think we discussed it last week. Maybe we didn't, but anyway,
No, I don't
they found
I
their
think we did.
they found their Elvis anyway.
That's cool.
I think Lana Del Rey wants to play in that as well.
Yeah, is it his wife?
Yeah, wants to play his wife. That's
Yeah.
it. She said she felt like she was born to play. I don't know if that's in the news, but I saw that today.
Definitely.
like that.
And that would be interesting. But again, this kind of, do you stick with actors to play actors? And it's going to be quite a big role, I imagine. So
Yeah.
be interesting. She looks the part.
Yeah, she definitely does look the part as man.
Harry Styles was one of the ones considered for this film, but
I think,
it looks
he
like
could've
he's
been
going to actually get a decent kind of turn from this, because he is tipped to play Prince Eric in The Little Mermaid. So he'll have done all right.
winning.
Great,
Yeah.
can't wait for that one.
And if that was enough to get you interested in The Little Mermaid, you've also got Javier Bardem to look forward to, because he looks set to sign on.
Oh,
as well,
watch the
so-
film
Another
Mother.
classic
He's good
Disney
in that.
film.
Most anticipated film
Of all
next
time.
decade.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'd actually agree with that, to be fair.
Apart from, of course, the Barbie movie, which is finally in the works.
Oh, shit.
It's Currently, Margot Robbie is in the lead. She's going to be
I heard about
the
that, yeah.
title character.
To be fair.
Barbie.
And the film is going to be set by...
What the fuck?
So guys.
Scary.
Unprofessional, isn't it?
Sorry.
Yeah, the film is going to be written by Noah Baumbach and Greta Gerwig, who did Lady Bird, which is actually quite...
Okay, that's interesting.
Which makes you think it could actually have quite a...
Yeah, Margot Robbie and Greta. Yeah, fair play.
Interesting for a wider audience.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. And more exciting news, Brad Pitt and Emma Stone have been eyed up for Damien Chazelle's next film, Babylon, which is set in Hollywood again. The storyline is not set in concrete, but I think those two would be really interesting prospects.
Do you know what the storyline is for that?
No, I know it's about some struggles in Hollywood again. It sounded pretty La La Landy.
I mean, if it's Damien Chazelle, I'll be there. So.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
You're a bit of a Damien Chazelle fan, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm glad it's kind of going back to something like that instead of another space film. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool.
I didn't mind First Man, but
it was good. The directing was good, but I think he's better off in a bit more of a creative space.
Yeah, so I think this one will be quite interesting. Is that for this year or next year? Do you know?
It'll be quite a while. This is really early stages.
Yeah, it's
not even on IMDb
last
yet.
Year, wasn't it? Yeah, that's fair enough.
And that is all the news, but I think some exciting stuff on there.
Some good film news. Yeah. Did you see the trailer for the Playmobil movie?
I actually
that's why you said this was out. It's already got ratings.
Has it?
Or were we talking about a different kids movie last week?
I don't know.
I don't think we were talking about that one.
Well, I saw the trailer this week, so I don't know. Actually, not really good. Basically, like James Bond, but Playmobil.
Great. Can't wait for that one. Fucking classic. Added on to the news, we kind of had like the... Wait, what's up?
He's having a look.
Oh, I haven't looked for it.
So yeah, it's already got 5.4. It's out in August.
78 ratings.
Can we please go see that?
Animated feature film that they don't even have a storyline kind of plot. It's literally animated feature film inspired by the Playmobil brand toys. Run along.
I mean, if I'm going to sell you film, I don't know what it is.
Expertise.
Nice.
Sorry, Joe, we interrupted you.
Oh no, I was just saying, adding on top of that, I'm not going to go through we had the Emmy nominations.
Yeah.
Obviously, I try and watch the Emmys every year. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I just wanted to point out Game of Thrones had 32 nominations somehow. That's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Some of the acting nominations for Game of Thrones were Alfie Allen, finally, who plays Theon, which I think is a fair.
5 minutes in it. Right?
Yeah. He should have been nominated for a different season, to be fair, but he is really good.
I'm currently watching series 3 and he's been amazing in it so far.
Yeah, he's great. Nikolai, who plays Jaime Lannister, has been nominated as well. Peter Dinklage, boy.
To be fair, everyone is great actors.
Tyrion,
he can't.
Tyrion's my favourite character.
I think my personal favourite being Gwendolyn, who played what's her
Brienne.
She's wonderful.
Oh yeah, she's really good.
She deserves that more than anyone, I think. In the final season, she's so good.
Emilia Clarke's on there as well, right?
Emilia Clarke, Lena Headey, Maisie Williams, and Sophie
just
Turner.
The whole cast.
Yeah. Basically, and Kit Harington as well.
Yeah, the whole cast.
Basically, the whole cast. The only one I'm not agreeing with is the fact that it's been nominated for Best Drama Series.
Yeah, I think that's pandering.
The season itself has been nominated.
The last season?
Yeah, the last season.
Nah, no way.
I just felt like the Emmys just wanted to give them a bit of everything.
They just did it for the hype.
Yeah.
I looked through, and I mean, I don't watch much TV, so I'm glad you're not doing that kind of step by step.
Yeah, there's a lot.
But a couple of things I'd like to point out in terms of who I'd vote for. From the very limited stuff that I've seen.
Thanks, George.
I think Fleabag, I'm glad that got a recognition.
Yeah,
I've only just finished series 1. I'll be finishing series 2 really soon. It's really good, original. There's kind of that treads that line between comedy and drama really well. It'll be incredibly funny, crude, and then it'll just hit you with this emotional sucker punch, and you're just there crying into your pillow. And on that similar vein, Dead to Me as well. Christina Applegate has been nominated. She was incredible in that.
She was really good.
Again, that was a similar tone. It's cast as a comedy on IMDb, and you're just there this is heavy. But the performances are amazing. The comedy in it is actually really funny in a kind of really dark way.
You got me onto that show. You and Kelsey were just like,
it's amazing.
Give it a go. And
for me, it's been probably been the highlight of the year TV wise. It was a real surprise.
Better than Game of Thrones' final season, that's true.
There you go. Bears get on it.
Let's get on it as well, guys.
10 episodes,
Fleabag,
30 minutes each.
Dead to Me.
Yeah, it's only 30
got a nice
minutes.
list. Oh, that's perfect for me.
Yeah.
Same with
really
Fleabag.
Thing with Dead to Me as well, I feel like just episode 1 alone gets you hooked very quickly.
Yes, because you're just like, what is going on?
Needed.
Yeah. All on Netflix, give it a go. I recommend.
Also, Ted Danson. Just wanted to mention Ted Danson got a nomination. Love that guy. Good Place.
Oh shit,
yeah.
What did you get it for? Good Place.
Comedy, yeah.
Nice.
He's really funny in that, so...
He'll
never win it, there's not a chance in hell.
Nice been nominated.
I'm glad that he's there.
I'll have to do a shout out for Jonathan Banks then from Better Call Saul.
Yeah, shout out who you want. This is just the shout out section.
Shout out section for the boys. Obviously Breaking Bad spin off, so he's just great in that. So again, won't win, but
shout out to Aaron Paul. No particular reason, just watching BoJack Horseman. I love him in it. So
Need for Speed.
Nothing topical, just topical to me.
Just Aaron Paul. And then I think finally we got your film recommendation, Bez. It's always... Was it nervous having the reviews for Lego Movie 2?
Yes.
Kind of like,
I thought at least one of you would have hated it, so I'll take that.
I feel like...
For me, sorry to interrupt. If I recommend something and you give it at least 3-star, I'll take that as a win.
Yeah.
So, to get above that, I'm very happy with that. No pressure now, Bez.
Yeah. I feel like my sort of films are different to yours both.
Yeah. We love Trolls the movie.
Let's watch Trolls. Don't worry, guys, I won't make you sit through that. It is going to be either hit or miss.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see when it came out. It was quite a while ago, few years. Can't actually remember that looking, but we're going to watch, guys.
Go on, the anticipation.
Jesus, he's
building up to this. Yeah,
nervous.
I'm nervous just to say. No, I forgot the name of it. No, okay. What We Do in the Shadows. Vampire comedy, mockumentary sort of thing, directed and starring Taika Waititi.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got a great cast and it is fucking hilarious.
I actually really want to watch that.
I'm really glad you forced me to watch it.
Yeah. It's so dumb, but I love it. And the TV show's just come out as well.
Has it?
Okay. And I quickly clicked on the first episode of it, and it is basically remake shot for shot.
That's what.
And I really don't like it because the actors are different and they're not as funny. But the show itself has got really high ratings, higher than the film, which is weird.
Who's in it? Like acting wise.
I'm just having a look now. Something Clement, I forgot his name.
Check the year as well while you're at it. No, I've wanted to watch that for a while, so that's a good recommendation on that.
Jermaine Clement?
I have no clue.
Jermaine Clement.
You'll know him when you see him in the film. Other than that, it's not really a big cast.
No. Well, this was one of the ones that put Type
on the map. It was 2014.
So
a
few years before.
And it's really, it's just funny to see what they do with it. It's definitely very mockumentary.
Yeah.
Did you watch that this year then, or?
Yeah, I watched it a few months ago, and I fell in love with it.
Alright,
there was a few bad bits to it. I gave it a 4.5.
That's solid.
But yeah, for a comedy and a mockumentary, I think that's really good.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah.
I feel like you guys might not rate it as highly as me, but
no, I'm down for that.
We'll see.
I'm happy with that recommendation.
We'll report back to you on episode 3 with that one.
Yes.
I'm
looking forward to it.
Few questions. Got 3 here.
Nice.
And then we'll wrap up on that. But question number 1 is from... I'm going to start trying to say the names, but some of just random YouTube names.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So this
J3X.
Yeah. This one's Aimer NK8.
Noobmaster 69.
Yeah, we need that. Come on,
Noobmaster. No, we're not having him questions.
Bezel just made that account now. What is a film that you not... Wait. I think they've got a spelling mistake.
Oh, no. Get him out. We're having this question.
What is a film that not only you never get tired of, but when you rewatch it, you notice something different, be it details, visuals, or new meanings?
That's good.
That's a hard question.
So it's a tricky one.
I don't want to talk about Lost in Translation on every podcast. Lost in Translation. Every time I watch it, there's something new, just a little sentence or some kind of emotional element to it that strikes a chord. That one I could rewatch over and over again, depending on how I'm feeling. When I'm in the mood, nothing better. So that'd definitely be mine.
I think
They're dumbstruck.
Yeah, I can't fucking think of one, really.
In translation yet,
one that you have to watch and something new every time.
Enemy would be one to rewatch.
No,
Bez's favourite film of all time.
No way.
Enemy.
Alongside John Wick 3.
Oh yeah, rewatching John Wick 3. It's not even a film, but I'd say like Lost, the TV show, is really cool.
I was going to say TV, Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah,
there's always little jokes and
definitely
comments.
Always Sunny if we had to choose.
Every
something.
time, yeah, you rewatch it. There's some little snippet that you're like, oh my god, that's genius. That you just don't notice. I think it's harder for film. I think TV, because there's so much to consume. You have to rewatch it a few times a lot of the time to get everything.
I think Interstellar's a good rewatch, and Memento is a.
Yeah, I would say
all Nolan films.
Oh yeah,
if I had to choose one, it would be a Nolan film, just because there is a lot going on in those films.
We just copy and pasted our answer from last week's Q&A.
I mean, it's a hard question without actually thinking about it.
That's
it's hard to say.
You just kind of give them on the spot, but
yeah,
it's a really good question.
It is. I think it's definitely worth some proper thought.
Yeah, we might get back to you next week with a more detailed answer.
I'll have to start looking at these questions beforehand.
Yeah, I'll send it to you in preparation.
Yeah.
But, to be fair, like you can have films like, as an example, La La Land. Like I felt a different way watching it a second time than I did the first. Because the first time I was just kind of taking it in, and then the second time you kind of take it, like say, just details of visuals. It don't always have to be like a new meaning or anything like that, I guess. But yeah, just visuals and cinematography and getting more into the musical side of things as well.
Yeah, I think the same from some Marvel films as well. I think like Infinity War and Captain America Winter Soldier, these classic ones for me. When I rewatch them again, they get me pumped up.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I had to say a Marvel one, definitely Iron Man 1. I love that film. I've rewatched it so many times.
Yeah.
Second question, what are the best/worst casting choices in a film? So someone that you just look at and you're like, there's no way you can recast that. It's kind of, or on the opposite end being, please recast this.
I think in Iron Man 2, Mickey Rourke as a Russian. I want my board. Nothing worse has been said in the MCU than that line. I mean, it's iconic, so I probably wouldn't change him just because I always just go, I want my board, just randomly. But still, I feel like that was pretty terrible.
What about Keanu Reeves as John Wick?
I mean, that's more.
He was good in the first one, so
if there was no Keanu Reeves, there wouldn't be John Wick.
No, exactly.
Because no one else would commit to that role enough.
John Wick only. I guess like it's more like older films, like you say Al Pacino's Scarface kind of thing.
Yeah, irreplaceable.
Or Arnold as the Terminator and stuff. It's just, I guess there's just certain roles you just don't touch.
Yeah. I suppose from the other side, there are a lot of ones like Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. There could not be anyone else.
No.
I think the same for Chris Evans as Captain America as well.
Yeah, the big, like the original.
And Hemsworth as Thor. Yeah, I think those three are. I think Marvel in general gets their casting absolutely spot on.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe it was running out of
running out of juice.
I just press the record on, or just shut the video off and then we're wrapping up in a bit anyway. So
yeah,
I'd say
it
should last a couple of questions.
Just blitz through. Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal in like a lot of his roles.
In everything.
Just like Nightcrawler.
Really good.
I don't know if you've seen Nightcrawler or Prisoners.
Yeah. Maybe that'll have to be your recommendation.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Someone watch this.
Prisoners and stuff. I feel like he commits to all of his roles very well. Like, I just don't think you could recast him. Yeah, Mysterio as well, that one.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, so he's an actor that just commits to all, and I couldn't see him being recast in any of his films.
Yeah.
So that was from Bear is Soul, I believe.
That's a good name.
And final film, what is the best directed film you've seen? Like,
man, these are tough questions.
Yeah, this one's a good one.
I'm going to say Pulp Fiction, Tarantino.
I know, I'm going Grand Budapest. Fuck it.
Grand Budapest.
Yeah.
Grand Budapest Hotel.
I don't know, I just looked, I gave it 4.5, but I think I might have to do that.
You gave it less than me.
Yeah.
Wow. And it's
my favourite film. I gave it 4.5. I don't know what's happening.
What's happening, Bez?
So
yeah, that film it's like one of those kind of with the actors, but directors, you just couldn't. No one else could direct that film.
Yeah, I think I gave it 4.5 because I think some of the acting was a little bit iffy. I might actually read.
For me, I think Drive actually.
Drive.
I need to watch
the grittiness of that.
Yeah.
Every shot was just
like artwork.
It was art. Yeah, it's got to be Drive. Nicholas Winding Refn.
He has a TV show out that's not meant to be very good.
No, I think pretty much everything he's done after Drive, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's true. But,
but no, in that film, absolute perfection.
Alright, there we go. That is the questions. So
yeah, thank you guys. Keep them coming. They're all great. So
very hard questions this week.
Yeah.
What I'll do is I'll send them to you next time in prep for episode 3, and then
have a little think.
Yeah, we'll get a little thing going on. But there we go. That's episode 2. We'll try and do another episode next week. I
think we've got planned
we should have time
to record on next Monday.
Something like that.
No, it's a week on Monday. I'm away next Monday.
Yeah, George is
probably next Thursday again.
Next Thursday. Boy.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
So we had a good week film, and then we've got what they do in the shadows.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
that'll be a good discussion. We'll get some good thoughts on that one. So right, thanks for watching though, guys. Make sure to follow on Spotify and YouTube so you don't miss any more episodes, because you don't want to be doing that. Look at these beautiful faces of George and Bez.
It's nice, overly exposed by this light.
Beautiful voices.
You've got like Casper the Ghost.
Casper the Ghost. Hopefully episode 3
Joe looks like the devil.
I do actually
light on his face.
Angels on your shoulders.
Angels
devil
and
in your brain.
Right.
Saviour in the streets, freak in the sheets.
And on that lovely note,
we shall retire. Thanks for ruining my outro. It's
sorry,
smoothly, and then you.
I apologise.
No, we're just going to sign off. I'm not coming back for episode 3. For that guy.
Join us next week where it's just us two. Me reluctantly.
You can be the tech guy.
Sick leave.
He's hanging from a tree.
Oh Jesus!
Why?
I couldn't ruin this future.
Anyway, bye guys. Thank you for watching.
2008 flashbacks.
Love you all.
Bye. Bye.